questions that I may not be able to answer, I will get support from Matthew to answer you. But most of the contents I try to cover myself.
Okay.
And if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Okay, sure.
So this is the how the service manual look like, and you will, I believe you already have the copy of it sent by Mr. Chu,
Yeah.
and you can distribute to your employees. And this is the contents of the service manual. You can have a look at it. How's the characters? Is it big enough so that you can read?
Yeah. Please.
So, first of all, it covers block diagrams of our product and indexes. Index means the components and what they are called. And you will understand once you see. And the modules, which also means boards, consist of SNPS board.
큰 것만 설명.
Okay, yeah, I'll go through in detail later. So you can have a look first, the lists.
보면 된다.
Yeah. And then we will go into troubleshooting. Power and system on-off problems, screen problem, touch sensing problem, sound problem, and how to deal with them if they happen.
Okay.
And this shows the record revisions. And we will also try to revise the service manual if there's any change and provide to you. Yeah, and this is a block diagram. So basically this will be how it look like if you open the back cover. And you can see it as what we call T-con board, inverter board. So these two are actually parts of the panel itself, the T-con board and inverter board. And the other boards that communicates the signals with the panel from the outside input source and also internal PC here. How about I go through from the top to bottom? Okay. So actually these four represents camera sensors, but 7-inch model have only two camera sensors on the left and on the right. Our product is based on optical camera for the touch sensor, and how it operates is that the camera has a sensor, it's called CMOS sensor, and there's an infrared bar from left, right, and bottom, and it sends an infrared light. And if there's a touch object, it will create shadow on the sensor on the left and right. And there's the software equation which calculates the coordinate of the touch object. Basically, that's how it works. That's why we need optical cameras on left and right. So we need at least two cameras. And for more touch points, you need two more cameras. And normally with the 84-inch. But this is 7-inch, so you don't need to worry about it. And the T-con board sends the visual signal to the panel from the main board here. And inverter board sends power to the backlight of the panel. Okay. And the big thing, I'll go through the big things. This is a SNPS. It receives AC power from outside and converts into various DC voltage.
Okay.
And this is an OPS adapter board.
Oh, that's the OPS.
Yeah, to connect the OPS. So it's an OPS adapter.
They connect the board.
The one yesterday you showed me.
Yes, a small board to connect OPS with the we call it SOC main board, the system on chip main board, and that's basically what it is. And it's the fuse and the speakers, and the rest they are explained in more detail in later pages. So let's go through. And there are pictures also. So indexes. Modules. So SNPS board, as I explained earlier, this, the AC voltage will go in and DC voltage will go out to various boards to send power to each component.
SOC.
Yeah. SoC stands for System on Chip. It's basically the chip in here. A system on the chip is a chip that is composed of various different chips doing different calculations and functions. And so that's what we call SoC chip here, right here. And this board, as you can see, there are various input ports, such as VJ, I believe this is the VJ port,
Yeah.
and there's a RS232 port for external signals to like turn on and off the device and so on. And also USB ports and also HDMI port. And these are the analog signals.
Now, those are the application-specific IC, right? The one, the processor that you have, application-specific IC. Or is it a microprocessor or something like that?
Yeah, it's microprocessor, but not just microprocessor, but other chips combined, so that
okay.
it can do specific function for our products.
That's the whole thing, yes.
So in here, it includes microprocessor. Yeah, Amstar, the manufacturer of the microprocessor, Amstar. And here's the OPS adapter board. Yeah, this is to connect OPS to the SoC board, so that the signal from the OPS will send via this OPS adapter board to other boards. And this is the relay board. It explains here. It switches primary power and secondary power. So it switches powers.
이유를 설명해줘야지.
네?
이유를. 대기를 위험을 그 규정에 맞추기 위해서는 저게 그것이 필요하다.
Okay, the reason why we need relay board and the switching of the powers, so that during the standby mode, it can satisfy the electrical standard to minimize the power as much as possible during standby
Power
mode.
consumption.
Yes, yes. The power consumption management purpose. Sensor board. As I told you, the cameras, and also it sends, it receives and sends signal to other boards, and this is the board that controls the camera signals, and also it connects touch signal from external PC. Our device, you can connect external devices such as your laptop or other external PC, and by connecting the USB cable, you can also send and receive the touch signals.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I've tried it with,
A few times, yes.
yeah, that's
So not just the OPS, the internal PC, or also the external PCs you can show the screen on here, and the touch signal will go to the PC, and it works just like the internal PC. That's normally how other electronic boards do their. They show the screen and do the touch, but we also offer the OPS, and you are purchasing from us. So you can use both ways. It's a sub SMPS board, but
this is underneath, right?
pardon?
This is at underneath, right? The sound sub board index.
Yes,
Down
It's
there.
down
it
there.
is over here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it connects the sound bar
Yeah.
and the product. 서브는 70인치 넘는 거죠.
왜냐면 사운드
아,
하고 오피스 쪽
네.
저거를 제가 각각 따로따로
Yeah. Sub SMPS board is does the similar thing with the big main SMPS board, but it provides power to the sound bar and the OPS. Okay, IR board. This is the board receive the signal from the remote control.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Keyboard index.
And also, it includes the status LED, the blue light you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the keyboard is basically all the buttons on the right side of the product.
Yeah.
So when you press buttons, it sends signal. The reason why we have all these components explained before, because whenever those components they have problems, so that you may replace them.
Replaceable.
Yeah. For example, if buttons doesn't work.
밑에 꽂혀 있네. 하단. USB 리시버 고장났어. 밑에.
이거요?
아니 저 밑에.
bawah.
이거
Yeah.
사진 거예요.
Because
왜냐면
three
오피스나 이런 거에 가리면 벽에 들어갔을 때
네.
송수신이 안 돼. 저런
Ini
리시버는.
macam biasa.
그래서 꼭
and
필요한 게
it's quite old and then because kalau tu ada
So,
presentation.
yeah. As I explained, yeah. Whenever, for example, the
Macam PC lah.
status LED light doesn't come up, then you have to replace them and so on. Yeah, that's why we are going through each part, and you can refer to these pictures so that you know which one is which.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's obvious for to connect the external USB signals with the SoC main board and as
Jadi
mentioned,
setback kita guna yang PC.
그냥 오피스만 연동하고
Set juga. Either one line.
저는 오피스만
So it connects the USB signals from outside to the OPS.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Because sometimes, like for example, like a wireless USB receiver, if it's like back of the product, sometimes it doesn't work well because it's covered. So that's why we put it like here outside, more like outside.
But is it connected to OPS?
Yeah, to OPS.
Just remind me, level 1, we put it down.
At the back.
But at the back.
당장 안 나오는데 저불 켜야 되는 거 컨트롤 하시는 거라고 얘기해 줘.
맞아. Yeah. This one is to control the LED lights on the soft keys on the left
okay.
both
Soft
sides.
keys.
Yes. But sorry of the image there.
Yeah, the image.
The sound bar, as you know, is the external speaker. Yeah, LED bar board is behind the soft keys, and as you know, when you turn on, it lights up the soft keys.
그
Yeah,
ESC 한번 누르면 더 보여줘.
you still do want to do it.
들어와.
Yeah, as you can see the light turns on.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. And the internal speakers, as opposed to external speakers, it's built in there. That's how it looks like.
Camera for the sensors.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For 70-inch, it's just left and right only.
Yes.
And then
Correct.
down is the LED.
Okay, this how the camera looks like.
그리고 여기 인풋 렌즈에 대해서
네.
여기는 220에
캠era
50Hz야.
Untuk sensors.
근데
Camera 84-inch ada 4. 70-inch ada 2. Jadi dia kena di bawah tu ada infrared.
이게 50V까지
So dia akan detect
이상
aktivitas untuk send shadow pada kamera tu. So it's accurate lah with the touch screen tu.
유도가 돌려봐.
Touch sensor dia.
여기가 말레이시아 몇 볼트죠?
220, 50Hz.
225 보시면서. Yes. So this is the noise filter inlet. So that's where you connect the AC cables or the plug into here.
Oh, the plug.
Yeah, plug. But it also works as a noise filter. But here you can see the range of the voltage is from 100 volts up to 220 volts and 47 to 65 hertz. Actually, it covers from 90 to 250, but we put it there just for the
Yes.
safety reason. Yeah.
그래서 말레이시아에서는 사용하는데 아무 문제 없다. 일부 제품들은 50Hz를 지원 안 하는 것들이 굉장히 많은데 우리 건 그 언더부터 지원을 하기 때문에 이상이 없다.
As far as we know, the Malaysia's AC voltage is 50 hertz,
Yeah.
and some products they don't cover up
That
to
range.
50 hertz. But so our product do not have any issue with the Malaysian AC voltage.
안전하게 사용하죠.
You can use it safely.
Unless it rosak, then you can just change.
Yeah, can you change that one because it is plug and play.
Okay, so basically up to here I covered most of the components in the product, and from here is troubleshooting, and it talks about replacing certain components when there are certain issues, and then you can refer to the indexes, and you can also refer to the picture, and you can replace. That's only when this occurs. So let's go through each troubleshooting one by one. Power system on-off problem. So that's when you try to turn on the product, and if it does not turn on. So now, first of all, you need to check the power input to the system, because the power itself may have the problem. First, please check whether the AC, the concept is working properly, and then also please check the AC plug, from the outlet to the inlet of the product by using the multimeter, whether the AC voltage is coming in properly.
일단
네.
저거 하고
네.
그거 하고 나서 저걸 해줘. 프로텍트 모드에 대해서 어떻게 가서 나오는지.
프로젝트 모드?
얘가 내부적으로 어떤 보드가 파손이 돼서
네.
추투가 일어났을 때는
네.
저 생태등이 빨간색이 깜빡깜빡할 거다.
네.
아니면 빨간색이나 파란색으로 깜빡깜빡 하면 AC 코드를 뺐다가 30초 있다가 다시 꽂아라. 그러면 SMPS가 초기화 되는데 그래도 안 될 경우에 내부에 문제가 있는 거다. 아니면 뭐 너네 그 공급되는 AC 전원에 뭐 이상이 있거나 그럴 경우 SMPS는 내부에 뭐가 망가졌든 간에 패널이나 이런 것들 보호하기 위해서 프로텍트 모드를 가지고 있다.
이거 설명한 다음에 이제 설명. So after checking the plug or whether the electricity is going properly, and please connect the plug and provide the AC or electricity, and check the LED status bar. That's the LED status bar or status LED. Sorry. See it turns to red color. So when the product is turned off, and we normally call it standby mode, and once you plug in, the LED light will turn on. That means the power is provided properly. If you check all the electricity is coming in properly, but once you plug in, but still the status LED is not turning on, first please try to replace the fuse that I showed before. Sorry, this fuse is a different one. So it's the fuse within the SMPS. My apologies. So every SMPS, they have fuse to protect the sudden rush of the voltage to protect other components. So if a huge voltage comes through the SMPS, then the fuse of the SMPS will break, it will burn. So if all the electricity is coming in properly, but it does not turn the status LED on, that means somewhere the electricity is cut. But the first part you should be suspicious is the fuse of the SMPS. So if there's a shortage or something, it will break. So please replace the fuse of the SMPS. Fuse, it can be purchased in any electronic shop. So replace the fuse.
Should we remove the rear cover?
Yes.
So which one?
The rear cover is actually the whole cover.
The whole
cover, yes.
When you open the whole cover, and then you can see the whole electronic environment.
If you open the whole cover, basically it will look like
We need to
block diagram.
But you have to take out the OPS, yes. And after that,
Got a screw here, right?
Oh, there are quite many screws.
Like a screw, you take out the screw and then
A lot of screw actually.
you see the internal part of the.
normally
You seen it before yesterday. You seen it yesterday?
Tak buat, tapi understood lah.
But sometimes
Saya buat.
you can take out the screws from here also.
Fuse dia ada
They
kapot.
already have yeah, like the main boards and all that, they have this.
Dia ada fuse, tapi tidak ada fuse. Fuse tu dia boleh take out.
Because normally fuse kan, selalu kat luar dan sedang kita nak replace je.
Yang ni kat dalam. Sebab dia dekat board.
Susah juga tu kan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the SMPS, and you have to replace the fuse.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and then please check the fuse. Now this fuse is the one we discussed before, the fuse inlet. And also please check whether the fuse is short circuited, also using the multimeter. And if it's short circuited, please replace the fuse.
So normally at the multimeter, which settings should I go? 100 or 1000?
저는 그 멀티미터 체크할 때 백이나 천이나 그 얘기하는데
Ini
백이냐
Senang.
cara apa cek antara
Kalau benda tu, kalau open, you tak nampak lah dia punya.
쇼트 서킷 체크하는 게 하나 있고
내가 엄청
회사에서 체크를 하고 왔다. 지금 계속 pakai lama dulu.
아 이거
퓨즈 단락되어 있는지
Elektroniknya yang digital punya. Setting tu ada fuse juga kan dia.
이제 거기서
Pergi kat fuse.
멀티탭으로 전원을 아웃시키고 연결이 되는지를 체크하는 거야. 그 다음에 아예 단자에 놓고 저항되는 단자 그다음 퓨즈 양변을 딱 찍었을 때 부품이 되는지를 보는 거야. 퓨즈가 떨어지니 검토는 그렇게 하는 거고
10,000
지금 말씀하셨듯이 추장님 얘기하시는 건 그 전압 메가옴 테스터라는 게 있어. 그건 이건 멀티테스터하고 달라. 그것만 사용해. 멀티테스터 그 메가옴까지는
도통 테스트하는 거랑
퓨즈니까
그냥 5메가만
끊어졌는지 안 끊어졌는지만 보는 거라고. 나 옴에다가 놓고 R에다 놔도 되고 R7에다 놔도 되고 R100에다 놔도 되고
없어요.
Dia
전기를 뺏기 때문에
그러면 거기
R1에다 놓고 들어가야 돼.
밑에는 어떻게 이렇게 되면
영어로 안 크게 쓰면 0이 되는 거고 반을 안 주지.
Okay. So yeah, to check the short circuit of the fuse, you have to put to the R, which is I think is resistance or ohm, and then or you can set to 1, and then check the two connects, and whether the electricity is flowing. Yeah, if it's cut, then the needle will not move, and if it's not cut, then it will move to 0. So that's how we check the short circuit fuse. And another thing is that our product has protective mode, that is protect other components when like sudden rush of electricity, but if it doesn't break the fuse, it will go to protective mode. When it goes to protective mode, the status LED will change from red and blue and red and blue, but the product will not work properly. Then that's when you can think that it went into protective mode. Then please remove the plug and wait for 30 seconds.
레드는 블루가 아니고 둘 중에 하나가 컴퍼컴퍼한다고. 네, 색깔이 바뀌는 게 아니라. 너 소리니까.
It says it's not like red and blue, but one color is keep blinking.
Any color.
Yeah, any color. Yeah, any
Even
color.
blue or even red.
Blue or red. Yeah, blue or red will.
That it goes the protective mode.
Yeah, then you can see that it's protective mode.
그럼 저 화면에 출력이 안 된다.
Yeah,
백라이트도 안 들어오고.
and the screen will not work, and then that's you can understand as protective mode. Then please
Remove
the AC, and then wait for 30 seconds and plug in again and try to see whether it works.
What happens if, let's say, we can see the screen right now, then suddenly it keep blinking?
Oh, no, when it goes to protective mode, the electricity will not flow.
Okay.
Yeah, the SMPS will block the electricity flow.
Alright.
Okay, so that's how to deal with protective mode. Yeah. And the symptom of status LED not turning on.
Right, yeah.
So when you connect the power, it should turn on red when it's in standby mode before you turn on. But if it does not turn on, please check the power first, as explained in the first step. Yeah, if it does not turn on, try to turn on the product and see whether the product turns on, but still the status LED light does not turn on. That means there's just something wrong with the LED. Yeah.
The LED, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If once you turn on it, the blue light turns on, but the red light doesn't. That still means the LED is broken. So please remove the LED bar, LED board. And also, when you try to turn on with your remote control, but it doesn't work. But if you can turn the power on from the side power button, that also means that LED board is damaged. So please replace it. Now, if both remote control and power button does not work, that may mean that SoC main board is damaged. So in that case, you'll have to try to replace the SoC main board and try to repeat the same process.
No, where's the SoC main board?
It's the main board behind. The main board.
Oh, you need to
Show you.
you need to open the rear cover.
The
Right?
rear cover, yeah. But the same as when you want to replace the LED board, you have to remove the main cover. This is the SoC main board.
So that means we need to order to Walnut, right? Because it is broken.
Oh yeah, that's only when they are damaged.
When it's damaged.
Yeah.
So let's say within warranty, then we can get a replacement, right? Or not?
No, we provide the component. If it's within the warranty,
Okay.
and then and you find out that the certain board is damaged, UIT will provide the component for free.
Okay. But what happens if let's say it's not within the warranty? How much is the cost?
So the pricing is being prepared and will be provided
For all the components, right?
Yes,
Okay. Can.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
about it. So that's the view when you look from the back,
Okay. Yeah.
because you can see the OPS is connected from the left hand side, so it will be like that. So when you look from the back, so when you open the rear cover, it will look like that. So number 2, screen problem. So when you turn on the screen, it turns on properly, but you can see some dots or line crossing, but the rest of the screen looks properly. Then you have to check the LVDS harness that is index 2, but it doesn't have the picture. But if you look at the block diagram, there's a number for LVDS harness. So harnesses is basically the cables, like the thin or thick, the cable is there. You can have a look at block diagram to have a reference. And there's the index number 2, LVDS harness. Please check the LVDS harness, whether it is attached properly. Also, You can check certain things such as if it's bent or improperly, then you have to straighten it. Also, if it's connected, if it's located close to power cables only, but not the signal cables, but the power cable, then you have to put them some distance, says here 10 centimeters away, and check whether the line or dot is removed or not. And also, even though you straighten the LVDS harness, and also you try to, you put distance between the power cable and the LVDS harness, but it still doesn't solve the problem, I'll try to replace the LVDS harness. But what if also this does not solve the problem, then we have to suspect the panel damage. The panel damage, you cannot solve the panel damage. It has to go into the panel manufacturer. Yeah. But if it's within the warranty, we have to send back to the panel manufacturer and ask for, we call it RMA. Yes. Yeah, we have to go through RMA process.
So when you leave just now, right, Mr. Lee explained that he will come up with all the price.
Okay,
For all the components.
Okay.
In case that is out of warranty, right?
And,
then you
yeah,
can see the
yeah.
price.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So this functional display output. So if the screen itself is not shown, please first check the status LED bar. If it shows blue color, it means it's turned on, but the screen is not coming out. And also connect external source such as laptop and see whether the sound comes out. So try to play some music, and if the sound comes out, that means it's working properly except the screen. If there's audio output, that means the main mode is working fine, but maybe the backlight unit of the panel is damaged, or the harness connecting the inverter board of the panel to the backlight unit is damaged. So first try to replace the drive harness, which is index number 3, and repeat the process. So, and see if it fixes the symptom. If the front status LED does not turn on, that means it's not turning on properly, then you have to move to the previous part where the power turn on and off problem. If LED turns on properly, but even after replacing the drive harness, this number 3, if it does not solve the problem, then we also need to suspect the panel damage. So basically, the reason why we are going through is that we are trying to solve the problem by from the easiest way to the hardest way, but the end part is the panel damage. There's nothing we can do about panel damage, as you know. So in that case, there's the RMA with the manufacturer. So we've gone through dysfunctional display output, and now we're moving to dysfunctional color output. So if the color is somehow bluish, reddish, and if the input source is a VGA, you may suspect the VGA cable damage. So try to replace the VGA cable or try to straighten it and try whether it improves the symptom.
It's common.
Yes. But if the input source is HDMI, then we have to go through the replacing LVDS harness I explained in the previous part and see if it improves the symptom. Well, this is for the UHD model, but 7-inch model is 7-inch. But just for your reference, in the future, you may purchase UHD models, of course.
The 84 inch, is it?
Yes, 84
84
inch.
inch.
Yeah.
84 inch. Okay.
And also, yeah. Also, the products in the future will all be in UHD. That's how the market's moving. In that case, yeah, if you, in the UHD excuse me, model, you see horizontal line or vertical lines on the screen, please try to update the format to the latest version and see if it removes the symptom. But if it does not, yeah, replace the UHD.
We have to ask the firmware from you, right?
Yeah, but it will be provided. I think we will provide it before we leave. Yeah, we are prepared.
For the 84 inch.
For 84 inch, yeah, we can provide any software. Yeah, we can send via email or anyway. Yeah.
So do you like, for example, if there is a new firmware, do you email to us?
Yes, yes.
Automatically you email if there's a new firmware or anything.
There's a release, right?
Yes, yes.
You will update us, right?
Yes. But there may be some time delay, but yeah.
Or we can go to your website and then there's a firmware update that we can download or not?
어떻게 주장님 화면을 홈페이지에 올리시진 않죠?
또 올려놔야 되겠죠. 그렇게 되면.
그럼
홈에는 일단 여기 있고
네.
트위시니티에 대한 거 이거를
네.
꽂기만 하면 돼.
네.
전원 빼는 상태에서 꼽아놓고 전원 꽂으면 자동으로 올라가.
얘네가 이제 우리가 이제 직접 주는 거랑 그리고 이제 업데이트 될 때마다 이메일로 보내주는 거 말고 홈페이지 가서 버전 보고 다운받는
그 시스템은 그거는 왜냐면 저기 굉장히 중요한 파일이고
Sebelum on
인터넷에 오다가 CRC라고 올려가지고
nanti ada
올리게
kamera, dia bila dia update dia akan tukar kamera. Dia macam mana? Semua power cocok dekat belakang. Ada port dia.
Speaker ada port
그러니까 들어올 수 있기 때문에 그리고 지금은 그건 옛날 얘기고
Ini status bar.
지금 나오는
dia tukar merah lah. Kalau dia tengah ambil tu dia merah.
관계가 없는데 일단은 애들이
Dia bukan di start. You
그
cabut power.
웹에서 여기는 이쪽에
Start balik. Dia power.
Baru dia ambil. Baru dia read.
그럼 그 CRC에다가
ada prosedurnya.
파일이기 때문에 이런 기타 파일들가 날 경우에는 세팅이 돼야 할 수도 없다. 이건 굉장히 중요한点이고 세트 전체의 기능에 대한 결정을 하는 거기 때문에 그렇게 듣고는 이메일로 압축해서 나가는 뭐 상관없지만 웹에서 따라 뭐
apa effect dekat device, apa effect dekat ni sebab dia flash.
버전 관리가 힘들어서 그렇게 되면
The device won't work well lah. Itu
Sebab dia jenis outside of the screen.
That's what dia update flash kan.
말이 좀 안 되는 것 같긴 한데 하지 말고
미래 at the moment we provide via email only because there are some issues like security and safety issues and so on. So the moment we provide via email and when it's updated, we inform you and we provide you the latest software. But in the future, we try to upload on the website.
It's good. You can just check the latest one, right?
Yes, that will be more convenient. But right now, if there's some issue with the firmware, yeah, that can be may damage the product. And so. Okay, so yeah, try to upload the latest firmware for the UHD product. If it doesn't solve the issue, please replace the UHD board. This is the index number R. Yes. It says here, if replacing the UHD board still does not solve the problem, then please try to replace the T-CON board. T-CON board is one of the two boards that's attached to the LED panel. One is the LED driver and it's a T-CON board. But you cannot just replace and leave it there. We put the suggestion here just to check whether T-CON board is the one which has the problem. So just use the same panel stick-on board from other product and see whether it's solves the issue. Yeah, but this we don't really recommend it. It's just one of the solutions to see if you change the T-con board and it displays properly, that means the T-con board which is damaged. Yeah. Then T-con board is not like a accessory that we provide. You can only get it from the panel manufacturer. Yeah, and it's normally they have the serial number matching the panel and the T-con board. So we are not actually allowed to replace it, but only to check the problem we can do that and ask for T-con board replacement.
Okay, what about the T-con board? Which manufacturer you took the T-con board from?
Oh, it's the
Panel manufacturer.
so it's LG.
LG. So maybe we can just find
That is Samsung. Samsung.
Samsung. So we just can find the T-con board from Samsung and just try this. Or
Yeah, but that's the case, but it has to go through RMA process also. Yeah, but you don't have to send the whole panel.
Just the
Yeah.
board.
대부분의 패널 제조사들은 티콘,
Just the board.
이것들을 따로 하지 않는다. 왜냐면 그 무드와 그게 그래서 RMA 프로세스는 다 구분을 시키는 거기 때문에
그것만 문제로 발견되고
그거는 모르는 거야.
Panel or is
그래서 우리도 이제 거기에 대해서
for the warranty
얘기를
part?
했지만
Do we direct with you or
Yeah,
direct with the
yeah,
panel
we lost.
manufacturer?
No,
Direct.
yeah, it has to be because they only deal with the purchase of the panel.
Panel.
Yes, so it's a very inconvenient process, but failure rate
Very
of
unlikely.
but it happens. It happens because it's an electronic.
From your experience, it happens, is it? From the
Yeah, as I told you, we sold many products.
History, yes.
Yeah, but it happens. It
Yeah.
happens, but not so many. I would say less than 0.5% maybe. Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah.
okay.
Because you know, normally the panel damage that's normally occurs before we make the product. After we make the product, it's highly unlikely, but still it doesn't happen. Does happen. Then it is covered by the warranty, and we can go through the RMA process. We can request through us, and then we can send the product to the manufacturer. So it's very can be a long process, but you know, because panel is very expensive equipment, yeah, it's no choice to have to go through it. In detail of how RMA process is done, you got instruction previously?
No.
Not yet? Okay, yeah, then.
We don't have that.
Okay, we'll provide the
Maybe
form.
you can
and-
provide the form.
Yeah, the form and how to do it. Normally you request that we suspect panel damage and describe the symptom, and then we pass that to the panel manufacturer. Then normally we have to receive it via ocean or something like that, and yeah, and that's in our contract term, and we deal accordingly. So that's how we do it. So yeah. So if the input source is HDMI, and if there's a line noises, please try to replace the SoC main board and see whether the symptom disappears.
Okay.
Yes, the touch sensing problem. Yes, that's when you connect the external device and also you connect the sensing signal through the USB cable. If the touch is not working, please try to disconnect the sensor USB cable and try to reconnect it. And if you hear the beep 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 sound, it means the sensor board is reset and there's no problem with the sensor itself. And try to see whether it removed the symptom or not.
Yeah. I tried this on my own at that time.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, that's what happened?
It happened
Yeah.
one time previously.
Yeah, sometimes because the recognition rate of USB, there's some percentage. Sometimes this cannot recognize. I think you also may have experience with other devices. Then
Yeah.
simply disconnect and reconnect again.
Yes.
Normally it solves the problem.
Mm.
But if there's no beep sound at all, please try to replace the USB cable and with the other one and test again. And if still no beep sound, please try whether still the touch sensor is working. But it's working properly, then basically there's no problem. But if there's the beep 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 sound is missing, it's no big issue, right? So that's how you check it. And
Ni USB touch cable mana geri panjang tu.
Ada
Kita connect dekat
Dekat belakang tu.
Aku pun baru tanya soalan. This one is a USB cable. Oh, is it this one? Oh, no,
no,
this one.
it's not connected yet.
Mat, lalu
Oh. Sensor USB. Then we need to take out this panel. Huh?
no. You
This
just
was just the cable.
yeah, the cable only. The cable is
In the accessory box, I
Yeah.
believe. Oh.
red color cable.
Oh, so that means you can plug
이렇게
it.
됐어요?
Yeah, that one
왜 이렇게
use
다
external.
깜짝깜짝 놀래? 그런 거안
So that the touch screen will work.
Yes.
정말 혹시
It still doesn't work. Just take out from the laptop.
니네
Just put it back
Oh,
again.
yang kita masukin laptop. Tengok Salman tadi tengah pening tadi dia tak faham.
Ada tanya soalan? Tak, basically. Saya tunggu dia habis cakap. Okey.
Saya minum lah. Nanti dulu 11.30 lah. Biar dia orang belah dulu.
Boleh ke?
Boleh. 11.30 lagi. Kita bukan student. Kita profesional. Ya.
Okay. Come. Okay.
So, the next step is if after correct the detection sound, like beep beep sound, and then there's a regular beep, like with certain interval beep sound, then please try to reset the connected external PC
Okay.
and see whether it improves the symptom. If it does not, then we have to go through the software. The name is a bit complicated. T3KCFGFE. It's the
Software